Hi everybody, Privyet. How is everybody doing today? Welcome to more Rhapsody number 3. I got word from the producer of the show that the renewal form will go out very very soon, within the next few weeks. So in doing so, I actually decided to sign up for another year, and that show will be called More Rhapsody number 4. Okay, because it's my 4th year. Would you believe the Partridge family only had a show for 2 years? And I'm already on my 4th. I think I told you that already. Alright, so I have a few funny tidbits for you, and I like to share them with you. Now, does anyone out there remember the car Plymouth Fury? My oldest sister, had a Plymouth Fury station wagon. The thing was a tank. And I remember when I was in high school, and when was it? 1978 to 79. Not yet graduated, but I remember whenever I missed the bus, my sister and I missed the bus, we'd have to wake up my sister out of bed to drive us to school. And she hated it because it was always so cold and everything in the wintertime. And she, of course she agreed, and we get in the Plymouth Fury, and it always happens. She never had steering fluid in the car, and it was an automatic transmission, and it had a leak in the steering fluid. So it was so funny because she couldn't steer the car. She would be like, just to make a turn. Oh, she had to put all of her strength into just moving it to steer the car. What she did for us, I tell you, and she's still the best ever. I have to admit, sometimes I don't really understand her, but all in all, as I'm getting older, I appreciate her more. It's amazing the things she does for my twin sister and I, really. And so anyway, okay, now in the 60s, does anyone out there my age or older remember when we used to get milk in the gallon? It wouldn't be in the plastic container with a handle and you just pour it. Had a spout, you pop up, you pop off. No, it came in a big square plastic container. I tell you, it was like this big. It was like huge, and it didn't have a handle. You'd have to grab it with 2 hands, open up the spout, which was about this big, and pour your milk with 2 hands. I remember a girlfriend of mine, a neighbor, when we were very young. We were at her house and went in the kitchen. She says, "I want some milk. You want any?" I said, "No." She took the huge gallon of milk in her hands. She opened up the spout. And But anyway, getting back to the point. My dad was always known for inventing things. Okay? He went to South America, the South Pole. And I guess you'd have to hold some kind of talent in engineering in case things went wrong technically, in the machines, or or some type of thing with the boats, that they were in and stuff like that. So it never fazed me that Dad would actually invent things. It was written. It was already written. So let it be written, so let it be done. So he'd take that big gallon carton, okay, and what he did is he took a piece of aluminum and he cut strips about an inch wide, and he wrapped around the top of the carton wrapped around the bottom of the carton, connected them in the back with a handle. Okay, I don't remember. It might have been aluminum as well, but I guess he soldered it all together. I don't remember exactly how he did it, but you were able to actually pick up this big gallon of milk with one hand because of this invention, and you could pour it that way because it held in the carton. So he invented this thing, and lo and behold, it was on the shelves, you know, being sold. You know, it was like a big thing. And I don't know, I don't think my dad got any credibility for it, but nonetheless it was still in the cellar. After they invented the plastic containers, right? So it was there. Another time my dad invented something. Okay, how old was I? I was young. I was about 10 years old. And we had a phone on the wall in the kitchen, right in the doorway of the kitchen and the living room. That was the only phone in the house. This was in the late 60s, okay? So after a certain time of night, after my dad got home from a hard day's work working with the bulldozers, he didn't want to hear the telephone ring, nonetheless, people talking on it. So to avoid any of that, he actually took apart the phone and turned the ringer into it wouldn't go on. The ringer would not turn on. Even when somebody called, you wouldn't know it because the ringer was turned off. With his ingenuity, he figured it out, and he did it. So I remember one time a young man came to the house to work on the phone or replace it with a digital phone with buttons, because what we had was a rotary phone on the wall. So I never forget this. I was in the living room watching him, and he said, "Excuse me, sir." And my dad said, "What?" He goes, "How did you do this? How did you turn the ringer off? I've never seen this in my life." And he was from the phone company. So my dad invented that. One more thing he invented. Okay, in the early 70s to middle 70s, 1970s, we had a remote control gadget for the television. I don't remember having a remote control when I was a kid, although they might have existed. I always remember having to go to the television, change the channel by hand. But anyway, there came a time where the remote control came into fashion, and you were able to change the channels with the remote control, but it lacked one important thing. You couldn't turn the TV on and off with it, only change the channels. If you wanted to turn it off or turn it on, you had to actually go to the television and click it on or off, whichever one you wanted. So, okay, with that said, my parents' master bedroom, he didn't do it in the family room where the television was for us kids. He just did it with the private television, color television, that he planted up on just met the ceiling of the wall, across the headboard, across the master bedroom, up on the wall, so my parents could watch television and in bed. So they didn't want to get out of bed to turn the TV off. They had the remote control to change the channels, but he got so sick and tired of getting out of the warm blankets to have to go and turn the TV off in the middle of winter. So he invented the switch. He put the switch on the headboard in between them, and it was a toggle switch. It was like an on-off switch. He wired it. I don't know where the wire was, but he wired it around the room I guess, in the ceiling, you know. So I don't remember seeing the black wire, but he got it across the room, down into the television, and he engineered this contraption in the TV to flick off the TV when he wanted to, without getting out of bed, to turn it on or turn it off. And that was, I would assume that was what, 1975 or 76, around then, because we moved into that house in 1974, and he didn't have that invention before then in the other house. So yeah, he invented that, and I still think about those things all these years, you know. And my dad was such an inventor, and you know, he's still with us, and although I don't live with him, you know, he doesn't live here with us, but I would just love to know the things he's involved in now. I remember recently, I guess 10 years ago and on, and before that, he was building model ships for the local village where he lives. And you know, big what do you call them, schooners, big schooners with masts, and you know, like the Viking ships and the British ships and all those American ships made out of wood, you know. So yeah, that was how he was passing the time. He'd put those things together. I don't know what he's doing lately, but you know, Dad, if you're watching this, thanks for the great memories, and you know, you're always here in my head. You're always here, and in my heart. And anyway, so okay, getting back to the show. One more thing. My mom, may she rest in peace, was Italian, and my dad is English. And what I've learned when my parents were together, you know, before the divorce and everything like that, what I learned in school was that the English and the Italians, Italy and England, throughout the centuries, never liked each other. And you know, they just never got along, you know. And I always just tell my friends and teachers, you know, this is ridiculous. I got my mother on one side, my dad on the other, and the two shall never meet. You know, it's like it's a constant battle within my mind, the Italian on one side and the English on the other. And what I discovered is that my mom's gone now, and my dad moved out, oh God, a long time ago. But now that they're both out of my life, I think that struggle of the Italian and English has manifested in my brain to make me bipolar. Oh God. Oh gosh. You know, if I was full English or full Italian, you know, or I don't think I'd have a problem. But I don't know. What do you guys think? You think this holds true? Do you guys have struggles like this with your background, your ethnicity, or nationality? It's just something to kick around. So, okay, let's see what else we got here. No, I told you about the Plymouth. Okay, one more thing. During Hurricane Sandy, I was living in Bohemia, and my sister picked me up to do some work at the house. So on the way she had to stop and get gas. And at the time I was writing books and stuff, and joke books and things like that, you know. And I thought of a joke, a very odd joke, and I wanted to try it out on somebody. So we pulled into the gas station. I had it in my mind. I'm sitting in the passenger seat. She's pumping the gas. And the gas station a mechanic was inside the garage. And there was no cars inside. He was just there smoking a cigarette. So I got out of the car and I said, this is a good time for me to try out this joke. So I get out of the car and I knock on the big garage door wall. And he says, yeah, can I help you? And I says, it's not for nothing. I said, can I tell you a joke? I would like your honest opinion on this joke. He goes, sure, come on in. So I walk in, and I walk up to him, and I said, okay. I said, a skeleton walks into a garage, and he asks the mechanic for a cigarette and exhaust pipe. And he said, who walks into a mechanic's garage? I said, okay. Okay, great. Great. So I got out of there. I said, I'll just back up. Okay, that's enough. Point taken. See, he needed the exhaust pipe to smoke the cigarette. So I thought, I don't know. I got the joke, a variation of the joke from Al Pacino in one of his movies. The joke that he told was, a skeleton walks into a bar and he goes up to the bartender and he says, can I have a beer and a mop? And he goes, sure. Gives the skeleton a beer. He goes, what do you need a mop for? He goes, to mop it up. Because I don't have a stomach. So that's how I got the joke that I got. All right, enough. We're going to put the air conditioner in the window today, so I'm waiting patiently for my sister and her fiancé to get here. Okay, my next video is a dance video. I made the skirt, okay, on my new sewing machine. It looks like a wreck, but it really isn't. It really isn't. It's just that the material is very old. I bought this sash, this big beach sash. It's a wrap for when you go to the beach. And I bought it from a local surf stop store. And I bought it like, oh my God, 20 years ago. And I love it. I never got rid of it, but I never used it, you know. And I took it out of the drawer today. And 2 days ago, and I decided to make something out of it, considering the fact that I don't think I'll be going to the beach. So yeah, I made a skirt out of it. I hope you like it. Okay, try not to be too harsh. Here we go. Thank you.